We do think that makes a big difference. We do see a sea change at GE. So you go back to Friday, we put out a note and said, here are all the things that we see that are wrong at GE that need to be fixed. Here's the reason why the stock hasn't bottomed. We said they need to cut guidance. They need to take a big write-off at Alstom. And if you wanted to be optimistic, you could look ahead and look on the board, the lead director. We said at that time, and we said this back in June, and we said it in April, watch Larry Culp. He could turn out to be the next GE CEO, and that was the reason, the catalyst. You saw the big move on Monday, and that was the reason for our upgrade on Tuesday.
Yeah, I hear you, I do. And I made this point to somebody else the other day that, you know, Mr. Culp could be the greatest CEO who ever lived. But he has to be a miracle worker, does he not, to do the kind of turnaround in a short period of time that you think is possible. I just use the example of Joe Papa is very well thought of at Valiant, but just a new name coming in and a very well thought of one at that, who has vast experience in a particular industry, can't change the fundamentals overnight.
Scott, I agree that there's going to be no miracle fix. This is going to take time. We identified he's going to assemble a team. He's going to triage the problems, and he will put his imprint on this restructuring plan. That's going to take time. But when you hear him on the call, we believe this is going to be the first time in a long time at GE where investors will have confidence in the senior leader at the helm. Yep. You have to start there with multi-industry. You have to have confidence in the management.
Let's talk about some fundamentals. Do you think power is fixable?
So, key question. That's the business that is under the most secular change right now, and there's also been some self-inflicted problems. Unless we're going to go back to sitting around campfires, we're going to need a power generation business. GE is one of the players there. We've had a fundamental change in the demand for peak generation capacity. Renewables matter more. This whole business has to seek an equilibrium. It's going to be painful, but that process has started.
So, right into the lead into this segment, Deane, we were hearing about Jeffrey Immelt making some comments today in a forum out in San Francisco. To what degree does he deserve blame for GE's problems?
You know, I kind of anticipated this question. We get it a lot. I would think that this is not a good use of anyone's time to look 2 CEOs ago and do finger pointing. What we should be focused on now is the issues at hand and start fixing these problems. The biggest one you identified, power. There's a big focus here on what spin-outs. There's a dividend that needs to be cut. And these are the type of, I think, the remedies that shareholders, investors are looking for rather than finger pointing back at Jeff Immelt.
I understand, but you use the word self-inflicted when talking about some of the things that happened to General Electric. Is he to blame for those self-inflicted wounds?
Yeah, the reference I was making on self-inflicted is in power. They had a turbine blade manufacturing issue. That's unfortunate. These things do happen in the manufacturing of this type of high-speed equipment. You're burning fuel at beyond the melting point of metal. These things happen. They have to fix it. But yeah, there have been clearly missteps, overcapacity in power. That was self-inflicted, and the list goes on.